This story happened a couple days ago. I had to have some fun with it. This is perhaps something many of you have heard already, and I tried to go online and find the video. Didn't have any luck with that. So if you know where it's at, let me know. I'd love to see it. Maybe there's some context to it. We have some fun. She was a kid when she did this. Attorney accuses university of caving into hysteria by kicking out white student, 18, over video shared by black high school classmate, showing her using racial slur when she was 15, 3 years ago. That's interesting. Yeah, obviously she's stupid. Let's get that out of the way. You give more leeway, I think, if somebody makes that kind of lapse in judgment when they're 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, as opposed to 17 and 18. We all have our cutoff lines, of course. The younger you are, I think the more leeway you have and the more they get removed from it. As long as they don't have any more of a history of that kind of stuff, then you kind of are like, they were an idiot, they effed up. Their life shouldn't be totally ruined over it. Jimmy Galligan, 18, said he had been in history class last year when he received a text from a friend showing classmate Mimi Groves using a racial slur. So that would be 2019, obviously. This video happened, we assume, 3 years ago because the girl's now in college. So the video would have happened in 2017, so it just shows the internet's forever, right? Something in 2017 that he saw in 2019, 2 years later, came back to bite her in 2020, almost 2021. The 3-second clip, taken on Snapchat in 2016, okay, so it's 2016, not 17, showed her saying, "I can drive something or others," as she was sitting in traffic. Now, I wanted to find the video. As I said, I didn't find that, but I typed that term into Bing, "I can drive," just to see what would come up because I was trying to see if the video would come up. And I didn't find the video, but here's what I did find. What came up was Urban Dictionary, and it said driving like an N. There are so many facets to driving like a, generally, all over the road with total disregard for traffic laws, use of turn signals, speed limits, signage, particularly no parking signs, and of course the seatbelt use, or say the lack of seatbelt use, in most cases with rap music thumping. Drive like an N can also apply to coming to a complete stop on a narrow residential inner city street, totally plugging up traffic to bullsh with a bro, pick up a garden tool, buy or sell crack, etc., etc. Driving like an N can also be defined as positioning the driver's seat so it appears to be non-existent to passers-by, and of course to sit on that reclined seat in the Detroit lean position, one hand on the wheel with the other on their crotch. So one hand on the wheel, the other on the crotch. So that one actually had 180 thumbs up, 60 thumbs down. There were no alternatives to that. So getting back to the story at hand, is this really what she meant? That's funny, right? The Detroit lean. Was she doing the Detroit lean? Is that what she was saying? Was she pimping and hoeing out there trying to find some crack? Doing the Detroit lean? That's why she felt like she could talk like that? Galligan said he complained to teachers, but said nothing was done by officials. He then decided to hold on to the footage before uploading it in June, after Groves uploaded a post supporting BLM to Instagram. That's why I wanted to cover the story, and that was the funny part to me. Had she not done that, I wouldn't have cared. I'd have been like, okay, she's just an idiot. Let's move on. Within 2 days, she was kicked off her varsity cheerleading team and was forced to withdraw her admission from the University of Tennessee. Galligan, meanwhile, insists he has no regrets and says nothing would have been done unless he posted the video to social media. Groves' attorney, Shan Wu, said that the school caved into panic and hysteria. He added that UT did not conduct a meaningful investigation into the video. And just a brief side note, I was watching a video today and was talking about the problem with social media and how people are now trained, certain people trained and then take this training in and kind of weaponize things people say on the internet in order to boost their own profile, but to tear other individuals down. So why is it that we live in this society where people get a kick out of trying to tear other people down and trying to shatter their dreams? Now, that being said, her idiocy does deserve a little, crack of the whip, so to speak, on her backside. I think ultimately you just hope that even though I have to laugh at this, because anybody who supports BLM can go fuck themselves. I've said it once and I'll say it many times, and we're not talking about the term itself. I know that most of you are smart enough to get that. Of course we know all lives matter. But if you can seriously look at their ideology, what they're about, if you legitimately look into their actions and what they're about and see what they do and see the things that they say, and you're still down with them, then you can go for yourself. So I don't support a terrorist organization, whatever the form they come in. But the funny thing is, and why I laugh at her, and I don't really want her to be canceled or whatever, but to say what she said, and then ironically later on post the BLM stuff, and then get canceled by a somewhat blackish looking person. You'll see, I'll show you some photos. Apparently that's the person here, this Jimmy person. To be canceled then by a black person after posting something for the BLM movement, after saying something derogatory or a derogatory term once used against blacks a long time ago, the whole thing is just a whole ball of shit and hilarity. And even though I love cheerleaders, especially in their cheerleading outfits, you don't want to see somebody get canceled for stuff they did years ago. I think you want to see somebody learn from it, certainly, and understand that only certain people get to say that word, that you can't. I love cheerleaders. Okay, I got nothing. But to have the society that we live in where people are forced or made to feel uncomfortable or again canceled for stupid stuff they do, it's ultimately, I realize it, I'll laugh at it. It's kind of hypocritical of me, I'll say it, because I'm over here laughing at her, of course. And I'm laughing at the whole relation to BLM and what she did, and I'm saying she's a loser because you can't support a terrorist organization no matter what good they claim to be doing, when you can easily go look at their mission statement. For an individual who gets on their knees and would support BLM to be canceled, again, like I said, I'm back and forth. I was like, even within this video I'm having, I guess, back and forth moment. I know where it goes ultimately, and I think you know where it goes too, and we have to, in society, accept a certain amount of stuff like this and not cancel people in order to get past all of the BS that does happen online with these gross individuals out here, like this kid that tried to do that. I'm not going to hate on him so much for that. He did post the video, and he was the one saying it, of course. But if you go ahead and read through the whole article, I kind of skimmed it. He seemed to be kind of proud of himself and bragging about it and trying to claim there was this horrible race culture at his school. Look, I don't know, maybe. I would be a little bit more humble about it. Maybe don't make it seem like you got such a joy out of this, about doing this to somebody. But ultimately, it comes back to what I was saying is you have to try to find ways for teaching moments. You have to bring somebody under the umbrella or under the tent, as I have said many times before. And I say that in various connotations. I get some pushback in comments, for example. And as long as the person's not a D-bag about it, I'll talk with them. And most of the time, we have some common ground here and there. So that's what I'm saying about bringing people into the tent. It doesn't always have to be a situation where you're trying to fight somebody, trying to one-up somebody, trying to get over on somebody. And I know it's hard. It's the internet. We want to just, say whatever we want to say in the comments or post these videos out here and cancel people. But there has to be some kind of opportunity, some kind of way to say, hey, you effed up, but, maybe we shouldn't just shatter your dreams from an early age. She's still got a long life ahead of her, of course, but I would say effectively her dreams of being a cheerleader probably, I don't know that any school would really bring her onto the squad anymore. So, that really crushes her dreams that way. And you never know how somebody could go in terms of getting depressed if their dreams are crushed and things like that. Or just pushing back against this culture that's out there that really rewards people for being terrible to each other. Is there any way that can be done? Social media is ultimately the tool the weak use, just because they may not like their skin tone, their political ideologies, their sexual preferences, things they say, and the list goes on and on. So as long as social media is around, I feel like you're always going to have that problem where people choose to not be civil to each other because you just get so much reward so many more likes and shares if you come off like a horrible D-bag. It's just the nature of things and where we're at as a society right now. And there's a clear dividing line between the type of people that are like that. Most of the rest of us who just want to go online, make some funny videos, laugh at all the goofy stuff that's going on in society, have a few laughs in the comments section, this and that. But I don't doubt that if this Jimmy individual came onto my video and left some comments, that he'd probably be trying to find out where I live, probably trying to cancel me as well. It's just, that's the nature of some people. You got the W, homie, be a little humble about it. That's all I'm saying. So that's the story. A lot of you have probably heard about it. Let me know what you think. Again, it's kind of funny, as I said, the whole correlation between what she said, then later trying to support the movement. Now, in her life, she's not going to be brought into the tent, but now, what's her reaction? It's getting on her knees and praying before the Black Jesus, I think. So sorry, chick, if anybody asks if I know you or associate with you. No, I don't know her. She's over there doing her own thing. I don't know that chick. All right, everybody, take care. And remember, the next time you're rolling through your neighborhood, Detroit, lean that baby. All the best, everyone.